ethical connotations to them. So again, when my vote in 2016 came to which is the less, I hate to say it, the lesser of two evils. Do you go with the evil you know, Hillary, or the evil you don't know with Trump? And, I did research on Trump and saw his successes and failures and familiar with him as a businessman. In my original approach was, we need someone to run this country like a business.
So you basically give him a try.
You know what? We would have done the same thing with Hillary.
Give it a try.
We would have given her a try. And you know what? So now it comes, here we are a few months away from another election here in 2020 in November. We will now need to choose between Trump and Joe Biden. So Joe Biden hasn't existed in front of a camera in 3 months. So, how do we know, how is it, I'm not convinced that Joe, as part of the prior Obama administration, would be good for me as a voter as Trump has. Up until this whole COVID pandemic, the market was setting record highs. Unemployment for all colors and races were record lows. Everyone was employed. If you wanted a job in this country up until this COVID epidemic, you had a job or you could get a job.
I hate to break it to you, Jim, but I think with this COVID pandemic and all this rioting and Trump is failing miserably. He is failing miserably. He's not.
So, and you're right. But right now is the time where not right now, 3 months ago, back in March, is when Joe Biden should have stepped up and gone shoulder to shoulder with Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, that's what I told you last time.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is that he missed these last 3 months. He hasn't had a press conference. He hasn't done anything in 3 months in front of the cameras in a public manner. First off, why? Second, he missed this opportunity. He could have been the hero. He could have been like, you know what? We're all going to work together. Trump and I are adversaries, when it comes to the election, but we're going to work together with the Democratic side of the aisle, and we're all going to work together on working through this the best way we can with this COVID thing.
Well, the entire country, though, is fired up and angry.
But he could have, and then stepped in to help unite this country within this racial divide. He was the vice president of the first black president of the United States, right?
Yes.
He could have, at the whole beginning of this, with the George Floyd thing, if he was active active on television, active in the community, he could have grabbed Obama and worked through this and would have been the hero of the day. And it would have guaranteed him an election win if he was able to avoid all of this riot. Right? He could have. And he lost the opportunity. He completely has ignored it altogether. He's thrown out some Twitter things and made some comments on Twitter, but so is Donald Trump, so is 8 billion other people. But he had that opportunity.
None of these leaders are any good right now.
No, they all suck. All of them.
I mean, we need a fresh face, but you know what? No one is coming into the forefront. Where are they? So what happened? What happened to all these people?
Biden is not a fresh face. He's
I
been
know,
in the
he's
Senate
not.
for 50 years.
I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about what happened. It's like all of a sudden, it's like they're all gone. They have gone quiet. What happened to the loud Democratic candidates before? What happened? I don't hear from them.
No.
What happened to the Republican? What happened to McConnell, to Ryan, to Lindsay? Come on, talk.
Yeah.
You're trying to preserve your post. No, it's not. right now you should not be caring about your post, about your political post. You should be caring about getting the country back together.
You know what? All of these people, all these politicians, and all of the celebrities, all these professional sports athletes, they're loving the time off.
Yeah.
They are.
Well, because they have the money.
Right.
They have the money. Meanwhile, people like us...
They can take a private plane and go on vacation and, go to their vacation house somewhere via helicopter and, what do they care? It's just time off for them. It makes no difference to them. That whatever. Major League Baseball yesterday announced that they're going to go, play 40 games or something like that yesterday. So it's some abbreviated, baseball season. And they're complaining. You know what the major complaint was?
Yeah.
One of the people was quoted saying, "How am I going to live on $5 million a year?"
Oh my God.
Really? He's like, how am I going to live on $5 million this year? Like that's because they're not getting paid for a full season. They're getting paid a prorated amount of their salary. Because all they've done is sit at home. I'm sure everyone put the COVID-15 on, so none of these guys are going to be all up and running. So next week they all show up to training camp, or the first week of July. Yeah, next week, first week of July, they show up to training camp. So. Yeah, so one of the guys was like, how am I going to live on $5 million?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he's got, multiple houses and all kinds of cars and all this stuff. Forget about the guy, who sits on the bench and he makes, league minimum, which is, like $1 million.
Well, that's...
And he gets a third of that, so he's getting only $300,000. So he's still loving life. He's like, all right, I'm getting $300,000. I did nothing before and I'm doing nothing now, But that's the mentality. How am I going to live on $5 million? Whatever. Enjoy your extra $600 from unemployment.
Oh my God.
Right. Anyway, yes, they're just out of touch. But back to the whole point is that Biden lost the chance to be the superhero.
Yeah.
It saddens me. I not that I would have voted for him either way, but I think he would have more of a chance than what he does now. Because I honestly think come November, what won Trump in 2016 was the silent majority. Every network predicted all the way up until, election day, even partway through election day, it was, 95% chance Hillary's going to win. Trump really has no chance, blah, 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 blah. And then the numbers started showing up, and the numbers started coming in, and they were like, holy crap, Trump's going to win. And, they were freaking out. But that's, again, it's lost opportunity. It's a silent majority that, that these people who aren't as vocal as you see on TV, they're looking at it going, you know what, up until this whole, like I just said, up until this COVID thing, you know what, my 401k was really good. Up until this COVID thing, my retirement plan was really good.
Yeah.
My property value was high. My home ownership was great. All of those things for again, you look at unemployment rate, stock market, the NASDAQ, the Dow, pick a number. Every metric was high, was record setting. Everything was going positive within this country. And again, he was steamrolling into it. Now, the Democrats, as I see Nancy Pelosi saying that if Trump's elected, as I'm watching, Fox happen to be on at the moment, if Trump's elected, he's getting away with murder, meaning this whole COVID thing. Like, really? Like that's the Democratic side right there. The leadership calling our president of the United States, and let's probably remember the word, a murderer, because he let COVID happen. Wait a minute. He didn't let COVID happen.
Well, he acted late, Jim. Come on. He acted late. Well, had he acted earlier, though, then it would have not had this. But then again, you know what? You cannot just blame one person. It's the fucking entire government. Okay? There's so many breakdowns across so many points of contact that happened that caused this, that,
Donald Trump doesn't control the borders. I mean, he slams his fist down about stronger borders, but he's not working the front line, seeing the people.
Donald Trump is just a mouthpiece.
Yeah, he's not the one going through the border control at airports and in the northern and southern border. He's not working them. It's not his fault that someone got
It's all the
from
people
China.
surrounding him. The thing is,
Yes, no, I'm not disputing that at all. Not disagreeing at all, and I'm not defending anything. All I'm saying is that there's a, for the Democrats right now, as I'm watching, well, it's not on right now, but a moment ago, blaming Trump in that he got away with murder, like, how is that back to our original point of creating unity within government to be able to combat what we're dealing with right now? Pelosi's still going on and on about this, COVID thing, but meanwhile, no one, I hate to say it, in Minneapolis or Los Angeles or Atlanta or New York, or any of these other Dallas, where all these protests and stuff are happening, and riots are happening, they're not caring about that. They're not caring about COVID. They're seeing their towns and cities get destroyed for essentially no reason. And now I see this Bubba Wallace, the NASCAR driver, who said there was a noose hanging in his car garage. That's a whole nother line of crap right there. And Al Sharpton on MSNBC, toting that it was that the FBI's investigation. But anyway, that's a whole nother. That's divisiveness right there. But again, it is. Since he stepped up on when he could, based upon his advisors and the people around him.
No.
He had the big concern was respirators. We're not going to have enough respirators to support people, as they get sick. And and he had the Red Cross ship in New York Harbor. That the Red Cross Hope, Red Cross big ship in the bay.
All these nonsense, all these stuff what happened, like right now, in retrospect and going back, it's all nonsense now. It's all nonsense because, it's just like nothing happened. People died.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, Donald Trump cares about Donald Trump, and the Republican Party is just sitting around there and not doing anything. And it's the same thing with the Democratic Party. I'm very annoyed that the country is in shambles. People, thousands and thousands and thousands of people died from COVID. Okay, and now there's a riot and defunding the police. Basically an anarchy that is, and our politicians, the people that we voted in office, are basically just sitting around in their bombs, doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
So it doesn't matter who's in the helm, okay? It's like, Donald Trump could do better. But then again, he's not the only one there. It's the entire government that should get the Democratic, Republican, it should be just about America. It has nothing to do with parties. Don't be concerned about your bloody election right now. Try to put the country in order. Forget about your party. Forget about the election right now. We're about trying to put together, the entire country in order. It's in chaos. Who are you going to govern? When you win the election, if the country is in chaos.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you.
As you can hear, I'm riled up.
You're fired up. You're hitting on all cylinders, and I don't. And it's everybody. It's every politician literally doing nothing.
You know what my concern, Jim, is that, look, for me, look, I'm done. I have lived.